Back in the 1930s, H&R started manufacturing top break 22 caliber revolvers such as this one called the Sportsman. We're going to talk about that today on the DR Drake channel. Stay tuned. Well, hey guys, it's DR Drake 63 here again today. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to do a revolver video. Haven't done one of those for quite a while, and I know there's a number of you that specifically tune in to see those. Now this one's a little bit different. This one is a Harrington and Richardson Sportsman, and this is a 22 long rifle. This particular firearm is from, believe it's dated at 1953. It's in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of challenge that you'll see when we get up close and personal. But it's real interesting about this. This is a double action revolver, and it is a top break or break top, however you want to pronounce that. And you do that simply by lifting the back sight. And if you see what happens there, it ejects the spent shells. So right there, when you shoot, you open that up, and that's going to eject your shells. You go all the way forward, and then that's how you load it. So it's got some nice sights as far as acquiring them, and it's got a nice set of wood grips on it. Looks very much of the same kind of quality you would have seen at that time for Smith & Wesson or Colt. And overall, this is in very good shape. And like I said, it's 22 long rifle and kind of an interesting firearm. H&R also made break top versions in 38 special and some other calibers. But this one's kind of cool. So we're going to take a look at it up close. So I mentioned if you look at the stocks, at the grips, very reminiscent of what you saw from Smith & Wesson and Colt at the time. Now, there were some versions, I believe, earlier in this where it wasn't a two-piece, it wrapped all the way around. These are in fairly good shape. As you can see, the bluing is in fairly good shape as well. And you know, about what you'd expect even with a less expensive gun back in the 50s in the United States. We used to put a lot more care into stuff than we do now. But this balances really well in hand. Of course, it's a 22, so it's gonna behave very nicely. And just overall, I'm impressed. Impressed with the way this thing feels in hand. Now, if you notice here, it's 9-shot, and if you look at this ejector, and you look at where this is going to rotate each time, this piece right here definitely has got some wear on it, so it's been shot a little bit. But it does cycle fine, rotates fine, no issues there. So, you know, it is what it is. But I like these kind of old firearms. 1953 puts this at 67 years old. And I've seen a lot of Smith & Wessons, a lot of Colts from that same time frame that are nowhere near as good as a shape as this. Of course, I've seen some that are. I don't know, I'd probably put this at about 90%. If you look real close on the cylinder, you can see there's some spots. Little bit of super light grade steel wool. Get that little tiny rust areas out of there. And then, of course, you know, one Renaissance wax to keep it nice. But just a overall nice looking firearm right there. Here you can see a little bit better here in this part of the cylinder where it's been stored in a holster, and so I think that's what you got is moisture getting in there causing some rust. I wouldn't go to the lengths of rebluing this or anything, but it is a nice looking little firearm. 22, like we said, and it locks up pretty tight. So pretty cool stuff. So like I say, whenever we do a quote-unquote unboxing video, you know, of course, we'll tell you how it shoots, but, you know, I think we kind of know how that's going to work out at 22. Here's the holster that it came with. And like I said, this was stored in the holster. And so that's kind of the culprit with some of the wear that you see, especially on the cylinder. But this will clean up real nice. An H&R Sportsman and 22 long rifle from H&R. So we're going to go ahead and take this out and do some shooting with it. It'll show up in a future video. But I want to thank you again for joining me today. Like having these older, maybe not so common firearms, at least not common for today, to show you, and hope you enjoyed watching today. We'll see you real soon. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying so long.